Well, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Call It Crew, and welcome to another episode of Short and Sweet.
This one could
It's,
be. This is
oh
going to be
no,
short no matter what. But I mean, is it sweet?
it's not. I don't. Well, maybe some
See,
people. This is why we're talking about it. Maybe some people will think that it's fine, and it is a little tangy.
a little tang. It's got
A
some
little
tang.
tang. It's got some
I
tang.
love tang. Well, the subject heading would be
Yeah.
Chat GPT and how it affects our lives in different ways. This way, maybe a little more surprising than others.
This way is a little specific,
Uh-huh.
and I have a sneaking suspicion that someone's going to listen to this podcast and be like, "Actually, that's a great idea," and they're going to be logging on. Okay, what are we
Yeah.
talking
So what
about?
happened?
What happened was People Magazine, someone wrote in, and this is what they said. It was from the Am I the Asshole Reddit, post. Okay.
He said that she read out what she had for the ceremony the night before, and he told her that he thought it sounded great, to which she responded, "Well, I had Chat GPT write it." Again, she had since February or March. So this was a choice.
I know this is a long time.
He then asked her if she had the AI chatbot to write the whole speech, to which she responded, more or less,
More or
yeah.
less, yeah.
More or less.
Yeah.
So then he said, or he reports in the subreddit, I then said it made me feel kind of weird in my stomach that she would have AI write the ceremony for her longest and dearest best friend. He felt it in his stomach. I feel it other places.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second.
Do it.
Do I think that it is the way to go? No, I think it should come from the heart. However, there are some people that get a lot of anxiety speaking in public and sort of like, they can't put into words a speech like this. It's a big speech, right? Like it's a huge
Yeah.
speech in front of a lot of people, and maybe they're stressed out, maybe they have anxiety, and they're leaning on something to help create that speech for them. So I understand a little bit because it's intimidating. It's an intimidating thing. I understand thinking like, wow, something can help me.
I completely get that. And I would add in there that I have not yet, but I know that I will. I think that it's a really great resource to use as maybe like a first draft or like a go at it. Like I am interested to hear what people would say. So I'm not against the use of it is I guess my point. I think that where I'm a little bit, and maybe I share some of this man's sentiments, is when it's about something super intimate, like a longest and dearest best friend since the age of 2, there's just no way that ChatGPT can know. Like they can't come up with the stories and the memories and everything else. So maybe as a framework, I would run it through as like a first draft. But I think then you would really need to then comb through it and add in, support insert your evidence, right? Give your examples.
Yeah, and I definitely think that there are times like when you should forego it completely, no matter how nervous you are. If I had found out that Matt had proposed to me with a Chat GPT speach,
Probably wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think you'd be like, oh, he just gets so nervous.
No. I do think because it's like a public
You'd be
thing.
like, what the?
Well, wait, how would you feel if you found out that your girl, your boy, whoever it is that you picked to do that speech had used that?
I mean, no one has said how good or bad it was in this little report. Like, was it a phenomenal speech? Because I feel like that matters. So like my point is that if someone in my life.
Yeah, but even okay, let's play the game of like the speech was absolutely like your entire wedding, the party was blown away. They were laughing. They're like, "Oh my God, get a Netflix special. You're so amazing. This is incredible." In fact, it overshined your whole wedding.
Yeah.
Everyone's high-fiving.
Yeah.
And then you find out that it's that. I'm gonna do some bitching. I'm gonna be honest.
Bitch, yeah, go for it.
No. I'm saying I would be side texting you like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if ChatGPT like hoodwinked us all and there was high-fiving and like a big conga train in celebration of that amazing speech that just happened, then I'd roll with it. I'd be like, wow, you gave ChatGPT like a very a really great description, and wow, did those bots really serve you? I don't know. I wouldn't take it personally.
Well, because someone's response to this is, if someone is really your best friend, is it that hard to write a speech for them? I think speeches are hard. It's not my forte.
I do think speeches are hard.
And sometimes I think they're harder when someone is that close to you, because the weight of it feels a lot.
Yeah. Well, one of my best friends gave a toast at our wedding, and she did actually do what you just talked about. She crushed it. She hates giving speeches. She hates talking in front of anybody. Like, truly, I didn't say dislike. She hates it. And she took beta blockers. She was just, I know it was actually stressful. Torture. I almost feel like I shouldn't have done it to her. Yeah. But she got up there and crushed it. And it meant, and you know what? Now that I'm being pulled back into that moment, it meant so much to me that everybody was high-fiving, and it absolutely contributed to the mood, because there was so much love and so much knowing in her speech. So if I had then found out that ChatGPT had written it, first of all, I'd also be like, damn, they know a lot about me and my life.
Yeah. Where does that information go?
How do they know all that? And who is they? Yeah, I think I would probably feel differently about it. I guess it would make it feel maybe a tiny bit less valuable. Yeah, I think it would affect its value and connection.
So you did a speech at my wedding.
Yeah, I did.
Now is the time, if you did use it, Jess, to confess. Because I have been suspicious over the years.
Ooh, I can
completely... a little GPT to me.
A little tinny. There's a tinny quality to it. Like, maybe I didn't know you so well. No, I had the armpit sweat to prove that it was authentic. And it was all true. It was all true. Giving a speech, by the way, again, I'm back in that scary moment. It is nerve-wracking.
Really nerve-wracking.
And then, I mean, if you're being an officiant, my guess is that she doesn't do that every day of her life. So,
yeah. I told my dad on my wedding day, I told him that because he had this is what happened on my brother's wedding day. Okay. So my older brother got married, and my dad's opening comment in his speech was, unfortunately, Daniel met the love of his life 10 years ago. Unfortunately, she can't be here today. That's how that speech started, right? On his wedding day, he thought it was very funny. There was one laugh in the crowd. It came from him. And so I said to him, no speeches. You cannot do a speech. What you're allowed to do is the welcome speech. And he still turned it into a complete disaster. I don't know if you remember. He sang, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Then he pretended that he got a phone call from Snoop Dogg congratulating us. That was random. I mean, there were so many disasters. Honestly, I would have loved ChatGPT to write that. That should have been a ChatGPT.
Whenever you talk about your father, I am reminded the very fertile soil of hilarity that you grew up.
It's not, I mean, yeah, as an outsider, as an insider, it's, we need therapy.
It's so bonkers though.
It is so wrong. And I said to him the night before, because he was in a little saucy little mood, right? He was drinking his red wine. He was mingling with all of the crowd. And I don't know if you have a parent that you're like desperately hoping never mingles. I have that. I don't need him mingling. I'd rather him in a corner with a muzzle on. He was mingling in the crowd. And I said to him, Dad, this speech tomorrow is just a welcome speech. And he's like, darling, oh my God, darling, I've got it. For God's sake, I know. It's just a welcome. I got it, Camilla. For God's sake. And then the next day is when he was like, can you feel? And I died inside. So these speeches are tough, people, is my point. And sometimes you should be using ChatGPT.
I know. And by the way, it is really interesting how different what you think might be acceptable and what someone else might think is acceptable. I too was at a wedding where the best man gave a speech the night before where revealed that the groom had cheated on the bride.
You didn't know the timeline? He like kind of released the timeline. He was like in Mexico. Remember when we were?
Yes.
Stop.
And they were supposed to be on a break, but I think that the groom reported there was a break and the bride did not know that it was a break. So
got it.
Yeah. So the night before they were about to get married, about something that happened, 10 years prior, because it was one of those like college sweethearty couples.
No.
Yeah, it was, and
my
I remember
God.
it was drama. Oh my God. And then the bride ran to the bathroom.
No, Jessica, I'm like literally sweating so bad right
No,
now.
I know, because well, I was very young when it happened. It was like I was like 16, and the bride ran to the bathroom, but nobody knew that's where she'd gone. And so maybe like 10 minutes later, my girlfriend and I go to the bathroom, and we didn't know she was stuck herself in one of the bathroom stalls, and we're going to the bathroom talking about it in the bathroom.
Jessica.
And then we hear like the sniffles, and then the sniffles turn into like wails of just absolute like, oh, it was awful. Poor lady. That marriage didn't last, by the way. They did, because you're all wondering what happened. They got married the next day and they got divorced.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay, so I think what we're feeling here.
We've gone off topic.
No. We've given reasons that you should use it. Because ChatGPT would not have told the crowd about Ashley and Cabo back in 2012.
That's true. That's true. So maybe you should.
Unless you're fucking plugging that information in, which I hope you're not. Even ChatGPT is like, no, dude.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that part.
Listen, clearly for some people, this works. This works.
Go with what works.
Go with what works. Go with what's going to make the Congo line and not the bride in the bathroom crying.
No bride in the bathroom.
You could compare it to people that have ghostwriters for music, right? Or they're
memoirs, celebrity memoirs.
Exactly. Does it feel any different, possibly?
Well, actually, maybe, yeah. You know why? Because, well, I mean, if you have I guess if you're saying you have a ghostwriter, then that's just accepted. But I mean, you know,
but people
in the
don't
case
say
of
that. People don't,
you don't think they say it?
Hell no, I'm not out promoting Camilla Luddington autobiography. And I'm like, by the way, Ghost wrote this. No, I'm not. I'm definitely on Good Morning America saying this. I wrote this. I was up until midnight writing this.
Yeah. Well, that seems kind of naughty to me, because then you're saying you did something you didn't do and you're making money from it. Like, I think that's definitely, you should, you know, that's maybe another episode. I don't even know what to say about that. That just feels...
I know, but it happens all the time.
So I think that where I've landed on is this. If you need a little help, get a little help.
Yeah, but okay. Is it the same thing as like you're reading, say I'm writing a speech, I'm reading it to you, you're like, Camilla, take that out. Why don't you mention this? Isn't it kind of the same thing? I mean, there's a lot of people that get, yeah,
I think that's absolutely what people think. I think absolutely people feel that way.
Although we have to quote this. He did ask her if it had written the whole speech, and she did say, more or less, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that part. Yeah. Well, and by the way, listen, relationship is what relationship is. And it sounds like the story is really actually more about a boyfriend having an opinion about a girlfriend's choice. Like, so maybe he should let her know that he does not want her to have her vows written by ChatGPT.
Chill out about the speech.
Yeah, chill out about the speech, buddy. It's all good. It went well.
I think that the crew is going to have an opinion on this. I think the crew's not going to be okay. Let's hear it from you guys. Hop into our comments. I think they're going to disagree with us.
Okay, so do they think it was okay, or do they think that was a little questionable?
Yeah. We want to hear from you guys. You're part of this conversation.
It is.
Drop a comment.
Yeah. And let us know if any of this has happened to you.
Yeah, if you're writing a speech right now, we want to hear from you. If you're like, wait, this is a great idea.
And by writing a speech, I mean talking into your phone and letting ChatGPT know what you'd like a speech on.
Listen, time is of the essence, and maybe they're busy. I don't know.
Very busy people. All right. I love it. I love the short and sweets. Let's call it.
Let's call it the end of the episode.